We're talking Egghead and Twinkie today, a film shown at the BFI Flare Film Festival in London for 2023. My name is Phil, my co-host is Raj, and we are boys on film. Egghead and Twinkie, Raj.
In very original form, it's about two teenagers named Egghead and Twinkie. Twinkie is, she's an adopted Asian girl. She definitely knows she's a lesbian, and she's sort of navigating all, early lesbian crushes. She has a best friend named Egghead he's a bit quirky, he's a bit unique, but he's absolutely madly in love with Twinkie. Twinkie sort of pushes away his advances all the time, but at heart they're, best friends. And Twinkie decides she's going to go to a lesbian club to meet this girl that she's been chatting with for a while. And then on the way of stealing her parents' work car, her and Egghead get into a lot of mishaps along the way. It's definitely a young adult queer comedy, coming of age. I really liked it. I liked all the little animated moments in it. It just had a really good feel-good factor. And, I like that there's more of these, LGBTQ plus young adult comedies coming out. I think Love, Simon kind of opened the door now for all that. I wish I had movies like that when I was a teen. We were just talking about in our review with Big Boys about what the next step would be, and kind of Egghead and Twinkie is kind of that next step.
Yeah, it's definitely an important film for a young audience. I felt like I disconnected because it felt like it was a film for a younger audience, but I still enjoyed it. I'm not, that's not to say that it's a flaw necessarily. I just had that disconnect. But, you mentioned the animation. She aspires to be an animator. And there were moments where it felt like Heartstopper. Did you see the TV show on Netflix with Olivia Colman and Kit Connor? So there are moments that did remind me of that. I'm guessing that it was made at a different time. It may have been made at the same time or even before. So I don't think it was copying it, but obviously people are going to reference Heartstopper. It was nice to see the animation kind of playing out on the screen in a really playful way to kind of reflect her life, I guess, because, she was very bright and, obviously into animation, and she loved that whole kind of aesthetic. So I think that was a nice touch. But like I say, it did draw me out of it a little bit because it did feel like a young film. But I think that's good, obviously, for a younger audience.
Yeah, I kind of really enjoy those teenage coming of age films, and unlike Heartstopper, it's kind of almost the opposite. It is like the young, lesbian Asian version of Heartstopper, if you will. Yeah. So I think it sits quite nicely alongside those type of movies. So yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Heartstopper season 2, seeing what the next chapter.
Me too. I guess because they steal the car, there's that road trip trip movie element, which of course we love because we love a road trip movie. Crossroads, everybody slams Crossroads, but Sean always talks about Crossroads with Britney Spears. Fantastic film. For the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. But I guess this is a comedy about, connecting with your heritage as well, which again is important. Also finding love in unexpected places, maybe.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just right in front of you.
Yeah, so it's not predictable. It does kind of do something out of the box. So what do you think of the performances? I felt like the performances were good. I thought the two leads were good. It felt quite natural. Conversations felt quite natural. I quite like that conflict because obviously when you're friends with somebody, some people do cross the line, and I guess sometimes if you don't cross the line, it can make a friendship stronger. But yeah, teenagers are often dumbed down, I think, or watered down in films like this. Like coming of age dramas tend to be quite saccharine. I don't think this was. I think it did touch on some, darker elements of a friendship as well, because obviously they disagree and they fall out. You're bound to have that in a story arc, aren't you? Because it's always like 3/4 of the way through a film when something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, but then to contrast that a little bit, like when they're at the club, and she's finally meeting the girl, and the girl, has some other girl come up to her, and, it gets a bit heavy with the emotions and the drama and the very adult conversations of like, oh, she's just a friend, she means nothing to me, I'm all into you, and and how a teenager might actually react to those kind of very adult conversations about intimacy at that age of your life. So
yeah, definitely. So it does touch on the grittier stuff, but I think overall it feels like a fun film.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. I really had fun watching it. It was a nice little Sunday afternoon adventure. I could put myself in Twinkie shoes a little bit, so I really liked it. It was cute.
I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 3 stars.
I'll give it a 3.5.
Oh, okay. So, adding that's not allowed, but we'll let you off. So it's called Egghead and Twinkie. Let us know if you're looking forward to seeing it. Maybe you have seen it already. Maybe you saw it at BFI Flare. Don't forget to check out the Flare playlist on the screen now. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.